We also spoke with Democratic Congressman Marc Veasey of the 33rd Congressional District about Democrats losing their majority.
Disappointed to lose the majority. I'm not gonna, lie to you about it. Very disappointed to lose the majority. When you are in the minority, I think it's really important for the public to understand that when you're in the minority, you're basically reacting to what the majority is doing. So when people talk about getting bills passed and filing different pieces of legislation and what's been accomplished, when your biggest accomplishment when you're in the minority is when the other side doesn't get anything done, which honestly, Jack, I think that is probably going to be what we're mainly going to see from the Republican Party with their very slim majority that they have. There's a lot of talk about who's going to be the speaker and whether or not Kevin McCarthy has the votes. My guess is that they'll probably embarrass Kevin McCarthy, and we'll have a couple of rounds of votes, and then he'll probably be voted Speaker of the House. He'll probably get the 218 votes that he needs after they've thoroughly embarrassed him to send the message. And these radical, reckless Republicans, most of them are associated with the Freedom Caucus. They're going to hold everything hostage. You even heard one Freedom Caucus member from Arizona saying that he wanted to shut the government down. And so for everybody in North Texas out there, that whether you work at Earl Cabell, Fritz G. Langham, FAA, or the engraving bureau out there on Blue Mound Road, post office, you have a nut in Arizona that's already saying he wants to shut the government down. And that's what North Texans should expect from, again, this radical, reckless Republican leadership and these Freedom Caucus members that just want to basically entertain and try to tear the government down.
How concerned are you about the investigations into Hunter Biden that the Republicans have said that they would like to do?
I don't think that that's what the American public wants. I think the Republicans would be stupid, Jack. I'll be 100% with you. I think that the Republicans would be dumb to do that. But when you have people like Jim Jordan and Marjorie Taylor Greene calling the shots, then yeah, we may expect to see these hearings over Hunter Biden. I don't think that any of us would want all of our personal information out there like that. When you think about, Hunter Biden's laptop being gone through by this guy that he dropped it off to get the laptop fixed. Well, have all your searches, all your emails, all your notes, all your pictures, all your personal information, and have it out there like that. But nevertheless, I think that Republican members of the House, particularly again the far right, radical, reckless Republicans, they're just going to want to do things like this all day. I just really, Jack, I honestly, I pray for our country to be 100 with you. I pray for our country and hope that we can keep the government open, that we can fund our men and women serving in the military, both here and abroad, that we can raise the debt ceiling. We need to raise the debt ceiling, and that we can get FAA reauthorization passed. That's huge for DFW, Love Field, and economically for our region. It's very important that we get that passed. I just hope that we can get some basics done, because this is basically the no leadership, the lack of spine, radical, reckless Republicans that are in charge of the House. They've been put in charge, and it's very unfortunate because we have a lot of things that we need to accomplish for the American public. But this cast of characters, they're not going to let us get anything done.
Well, what do you say to Republicans who say they need to hold the Biden administration accountable?
I would say that they need to hold their own conference accountable, that they need to sit Matt Gaetz down. They need to sit Marjorie Taylor Greene down. They need to sit Boebert down. They need to sit Jim Jordan down. They need to sit Schweikert down and tell them, hey, guys, cut the nonsense out. You're not here to be entertainers. You're here to be members of Congress to get things done. Obviously, they're not going to agree with everything that the president wants to do, but that doesn't mean that we can't sit down and try to find some middle ground. I think that's what the American public wants. I think that was the message that was actually sent back on November the 8th, just a couple of weeks ago, was that they want us to sit down, work things out, and come up with some solutions that are good for the American public, not to sit there and play conspiracy theory games and make fun of Ukrainian soldiers like Marjorie Taylor Greene was doing. I just don't think that that is the message that the American public was sending.
Let me ask you about border security. First of all, do you think now that there is divided government, that there is room for Republicans and Democrats to come together on fixing the border?
I absolutely think that there should be room for Democrats and Republicans to come together on fixing the border. I've been a very strong proponent of making sure that we enhance our border security by spending our dollars smartly. There is so much digital and computerized equipment out there now, things that scan for trucks at the borders. We've seen these horrific images now the last few years of people that have been lost their lives, being locked up in trucks and things like that, 18-wheelers. We have the equipment is there, the surveillance equipment that you can deploy along the border is there. We don't need to stupidly pay for an expensive wall that's not even going to work and not even feasible to connect from one end of the border to the other. There are things that we can do to secure the border that make a lot of sense, and that would be a good use of the taxpayers' dollars. And the Republicans just haven't wanted to work with us on that. I would hope that they would sit down with us, and then I hope that Republicans will again sit down with some of these immigrant families, some of these business leaders, and finally say, hey, let's work together on passing some kind of a comprehensive immigration reform bill. If you really want to secure the border, you'll pass a comprehensive bill that fixes our broken system, that basically encourages people to come over the way that we've been seeing lately. We need a comprehensive bill to be passed, and that's really the other part of this component, and getting good border security. And the Republicans just haven't wanted to do that. But hey, if they want to sit down and talk about that, I'm happy to. But it's, again, with the cray-crays that they have calling the shots over there now, these radical, reckless Republicans, it's hard to imagine that they're even going to want to touch border security, Jack. Like I said, if we can just do the basics and just keep the lights on the next couple of years, then I'm gonna get on my knees and thank God, to be quite honest with you, because again, these are the cray-crays that are calling the shots now.
Let me ask you about the Respect for Marriage Act. It's going to come back to the House from when you voted on it earlier in the year. Where are you on this issue?
Absolutely. It's already passed the House, and we need to get it signed into law. It's long overdue. And so, yeah, absolutely, especially in light of what just happened in Colorado, and the attacks that continue to be launched at the LGBTQ community, including from people in positions of power. Let's get this passed. What happened the other day was terrible, and this is something that the American public, I think, regardless of party affiliation, also is in strong support of.
And what do you say to, I know Senator Cornyn opposes the bill, saying the Supreme Court already upheld same-sex marriage. So what do you say to that on the importance of passing this bill?
I would say that I think that Senator Cornyn is on the wrong side of most Texans. Most straight Republicans that I know, including some pretty conservative Republicans that I know that live here in North Texas, are in support of this bill, and they have absolutely no sort of animosity or angst against the LGBTQ community. We need to get this passed. I think that Senator Cornyn is completely reading the tea leaves wrong, if that's what he's trying to do. And knowing him well, and knowing that he has a sense of history, I think that he wants to be on the right side of history, and getting this passed.
And I did want to ask you about the fact that with Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson's pending retirement, you are going to be the most senior Democrat as far as Congress is concerned in our North Texas region. And so I'm wondering if that distinction, what that distinction means to you as far as working with Republicans in North Texas to get stuff done for our area.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. In addition to me being the senior Democrat now, which is incredible, I'll also be the highest ranking member, Republican or Democrat, that represents Dallas County now. That's also very significant. And look, I'm looking forward to, again, continuing to try to work together. I have a great relationship with Kay Granger, work well with Beth Van Dyne, other members of the North Texas delegation. I think that if we can work together and just sort of clear some of the garbage, out of the way that's going to be coming from the Jim Jordans, from the Gates, and some of the more radical, reckless Republicans that we see in Washington, D.C., that all of us can work together for the good of North Texas. There are going to be some things, obviously, as Democrats and Republicans, that we disagree on. But when it comes to, again, things like FAA reauthorization, everyone knows here how huge transportation is to our local North Texas economy. I think that I can sit down and work with most of the members, including Republicans, in the North Texas delegation. So yeah, very proud of that distinction, and look forward to rolling my sleeves up and getting together. Jack, we get a lot of things solved while we're on the plane and waiting in the airport terminal there, both at Reagan and at DFW, where oftentimes we sit down and talk about issues that North Texans are facing.
My last question to you is just about presidential politics, 2024. I know we just got done with 2022. Let me ask you about President Biden. Should he run again?
I think that the president should absolutely run again if he wants to. He's done a great job. There was no huge red wave referendum against him like everyone was saying there was going to be. I think that he has an amazing vision for America. And as Texas is starting to get better for Democrats, I think that maybe Texas could be in play for President Biden in 2024. And so, if I were him, I would definitely run. And who knows, he may take Texas. I was very encouraged by the 2022 election results. I know a lot of Democrats were upset that we didn't get a new governor. Like I was very disappointed that we didn't get a new governor, but looking and delving into some of the numbers and looking at them closely, I think that we have a pretty good future here in Texas as Democrats.
Congressman Marc Veasey, Democrat of the 33rd Congressional District, Fort Worth. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving as well.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.